All right, I will call the meeting to order at 4:05 PM on January, whatever this is, 26th,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
All right,
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of the meeting of the December 29th, 2020 be approved as submitted.
who said that?
West Durant.
Well, first I have to call the roll, Wes.
Oh, you got a roll?
We're gonna rock and roll. Okay, calling the roll. Laurie Fairbay,
Here.
Kate Bliss. Silence was heard. Karen Schultz, not here. Wes Durant,
Yeah.
Rachel Boyer,
Here.
Pat Wheeler, Bob Blair here. Others participating include Victoria, who we know is
Here.
here. Is Margaret also attending?
She's coming.
Coming, okay. Oh, I think I see her in the boat there right behind you. She's just coming to the shore. It's good. All right, you show offs. Do we hear a motion to accept the minutes from the COA meeting of 12/29/2020?
So moved.
They're very soft. I put mine up to 100%.
It's Laurie Fairbay.
Oh, hold on, Bob.
What's going on?
Hold on.
Approved.
All right. All right, try now, Bob.
Okay, does everybody hear us?
That's better. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so we're doing a roll call on accepting the minutes.
Okay.
Laurie Fairbay,
I agree.
is Kate here yet?
Okay.
Karen's not. Wes Durant,
Yeah. Approved.
okay. Rachel Boyer,
Thank you.
I approve.
Pat Wheeler,
Approved.
Bob Blair, approved. Very good. So unanimous decision of all who are in attendance. Why did that just happen?
Oh. Bob?
Lose them again.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Looks like others might be frozen too.
I heard something that Verizon had an outage today, and I don't know. I mean, I have Verizon, but I'm okay. Let's see. All right, we got Pat, we got Lori. It looks like it's just Bob who's frozen. Yeah,
Hello.
okay. Hi.
It's because you look so warm there that I felt frozen by comparison.
Well, I was telling Rachel, apparently Verizon had a internet outage earlier, and I think it's kind of wonking with some of the internet.
Huh. I thought maybe the cables got wet with all that sea rolling in behind you there. All right. Anyway.
Secondary
we
problem.
have a financial update.
Yes. All right. So since last meeting, part-time wages equals $719.54. We've had $20 in donations. Director wages are $1943.97. Expenses are $105.55. And I forgot to add in the Powder House News postage last meeting, and that was $192.05.
Good. All right.
Hold
we
on,
have a-
Rachel, did you get all that?
Can you just repeat the first one? Was it 719?
54.
719.54?
Perfect.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yes, I got everything else. Thank you.
Sorry, Bob.
Okay, do we have a meals delivery update?
So in total, we had done about 165 meals to 97 households in conjunction with the general store and with Village Cafe and Pizza. According to Margaret, who's logging on now, there may be an option that we may be able to use these funds again to do a similar meal delivery soon. I'm just awaiting more details on that, but if that's possible, we can try to organize that again.
Victoria, you look like you're in a much nicer place than I am.
I wish.
We've been commenting on that.
Like, eh.
Earlier, I said, isn't that Margaret coming in a canoe behind you on the surface?
Right, she's not climbing a coconut tree.
Victoria's absolutely right on the remaining funds. We had set aside, what, $5,000, I think, for
Yes.
the meals delivery, and I think less than 3,000 was
Less than
you.
2.
Less than 2,000. So we still have those funds remaining. They have extended coronavirus relief funds for FY21, but with the new administration, all the rules are changing. So we're just waiting to get the new guidance from the federal government that'll trickle down through the state and then to us. So I'm hopeful. Thank you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So we can use it for either that or anything that is COVID related, correct?
Well, that would have to be used for that purpose because that was the specific application we had in the last round. If they do open up another round or allow us to amend what we applied for initially, then we could find something else to do with it. Right now, it's just for meals or grocery delivery modeled on COA activities.
Okay,
Okay.
But we may get a higher turnout because once, as Margaret's saying, once we get the new state guidelines, we may be able to have like a longer period of time to do this, and we may be able to plan more, get the word out there more, get more turnout and more feedback. So we may be able to do just a bigger version of this going forward.
that'd be good. The one that we had seemed to be well received.
Yes, it was. We did get a couple thank you notes, and I got some thank you emails and calls. So overall, it was very successful.
Good. All right, so we'll keep our ear to the keyhole to see what's going on regulations wise.
Yes.
See what the new administration is delivering, so to speak. Is there a report about yoga?
So we're still continuing our senior yoga through Zoom. It's still occurring every Saturday morning. Sharon's been doing really well with it. We've been averaging anywhere from 3 to 6 people a week. It's being recorded, it's being uploaded to YouTube, and I found out it's also being streamed through the cable access as well. And we now actually have our own playlist on YouTube, so it's really kind of great. So I've been trying to direct people to our playlist. So if they want to catch up on yoga, or if there's anything else we want to do in the future, we can just direct people, right to our playlists.
What constitutes the playlist?
Anything that we do, any recordings or any, not necessarily like our meetings, because I think that goes under a separate separate area, but like
Yeah.
if we were to, have a meeting with somebody else, or if we did like yoga, Tai Chi, anything like that, that's falling under us.
Okay, is there anything happening with Tai Chi?
Not as of yet. I'm going to reach out to Jeff.
Okay. But that is something we could do on cable, correct?
Yep. So the way Brittany does it is when she uploads it to YouTube, I believe she's running the same content on cable access. I don't have exact days and times, but I was notified by somebody that they've caught yoga a few times on cable access. So.
Okay. More we can do to give people activity via cable access. Cable access. I think that's a good route to go with all of this shutdown, lockdown, hold up in the house, worrying about things flying through the air period of our lives.
Agreed.
What updates do you have about the van? It says going in for service. I assume that's done by now.
Yeah. So it went in yesterday for its final update with the engine. I guess there was a sensor that just needed to be reordered. It went in yesterday. To my knowledge, that part of it's fixed. There's a plastic back wheel cover that got damaged, and I have an email out to the highway department to see if they could take a look at it and just see if it's something that they can reattach. And if not, we probably would have to bring it into Colonial Ford at some point. But it's not an urgent thing. It's something that can wait a little bit.
So is it just kind of hanging in the wind, or is it just a little bit of loose
It's in the van. It's in the van itself.
in the
Something
van?
fell off. Yeah. So
So it's not an external piece?
yeah, I believe it goes underneath the wheel well. It's not something that, is a necessity for the van to run.
Yeah.
Like I said,
okay.
I asked Highway to take a look at it just to see. I'm not sure if it's broken or if it just like popped off.
Yeah, okay. That's good. And how much use is the van getting now?
We're still roughly between 3 to 4 days a week.
And how many people per day?
Depends on the day. We've had a couple days where it's like 2 or 3, and then we've had a couple days where it's just like 1. So it really just depends on
Wow.
the day.
Huh.
But we have gotten a lot of people, like we've gotten an uptick on medical appointments.
Mhm.
So I'm happy about that. And, we do have like our weekly regulars for grocery and pharmacy runs.
Yeah, I've heard people asking, well, we had the one that we couldn't accommodate who wanted to go to Boston. I get not doing that one. What was the other one that was relatively lengthy, but not more so than going to Worcester? Or was it a
Acton,
call?
I think it was Acton, and that one was okay.
Okay. So we don't
I
have,
was doing, yeah, go ahead.
no, after you.
I was just gonna say that at this point, any trip that I think can be made in like 35 minutes or less, or is less than about 20 miles, I think would be doable. Between 20 and 25 miles is like an absolute cutoff. Anything that's just gonna take longer than that it's gonna just kill too much time. Like a trip to Boston's gonna be well over an hour one way, and it's half a day gone just trying to service. So
Yeah. So on average, if you're running 4 days a week, on average, you're doing how many per day?
I'd say like conservatively at least 1 a day for the 3 to 4 days.
It seems like we're
Some days,
underutilizing the van at that rate.
depends on the day. Like I said, there's some weeks there's a couple weeks that we've had 3 or 4 medical appointments in a row, plus then the grocery runs. It really just depends on the week.
Huh. Okay. You think we need to advertise it more, or it is in the Powder
We
House News?
certainly can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's online as well. I do Facebook updates about it. I don't know how much more we can do in terms of advertising. I'm open to anything.
Just drive around town, let the air out of
Okay.
people's tires and stuff. Maybe not. Never mind. Don't
I'm
write
gonna forget I heard that.
that down, Rachel. Or
I
if you
won't
do,
write that down.
or if you do, don't attribute it to me.
The
Got
only
it.
other thing I could think of is we could try to get some flyers up around like the Northbrooks, Riverbridge, things like that, and just kind of let them know of the services that we offer, just in case if there's anybody who's newer that is not aware. It's the only
Yeah.
other thing I could think of. Like the
That's probably a good idea.
okay.
Have some
All right,
sort
I
of
can. Okay,
some sort of
I'll
flyer for their bulletin boards. They have one on each floor in Northbrook 2, and then there's one by the mail pickup in Northbrook 1's community building.
okay.
Is it
All
on
right,
the cable news?
It might be. I can ask Brittany.
Good.
A lot of people are staying inside. Maybe the cable news channel might be helpful.
Yeah.
Right. Either that, or I'm wondering too if we could get something like even in like the bigger areas too, like the general store, 19 Carter, post office, things that people would still need to go to. It might
Mhm.
help out.
Yeah. 19 Carter is still closed, I think, until February
Beginning
8th.
of February. Yeah.
They're close to the 9th of February.
Right. But it still doesn't hurt to put it up there because if they suddenly open, it'd be nice to have the information on hand. All right, anybody have some input on that or questions about the van? Nobody needs a ride or anything? No? We're trying to drum up business here.
Victoria, if you want to send me what you want on the flyer, I'll put one together for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Lori.
Okay.
What have we got here? COA website updates.
Yep. So we attended a training 2 weeks ago about how to basically rev up the town websites. So I've been actually doing some additions to our Town of Berlin website. Let me just get it up and I can show you guys just how it's looking. My thought is this stuff gets, as we get like new information or if we get more resources, things of that nature, what we can do is then we can just update the website. So let me just show you. Hold on. So this is how it's looking right now. We've got some additional side tabs here, regarding like our meeting schedule, durable medical equipment, resources as a whole. I started doing that Google Doc about that. So my thought is like every month to 2 months, just update it. And then, we can put down updated, January 2021 or, next updates. Any
Yeah.
supplies, just kind of letting people know what we have available. Van services, a direct link to our YouTube playlist. And then if people are confused about Zoom, we have like Zoom meeting instructions as well.
That's good. Is there any difference
Wow.
between durable medical equipment and supplies?
Supplies isn't necessarily equipment. Like we have like the blankets, the flashlights, candles. We've got a whole bunch of random things in the office. So it's not necessarily equipment, medical equipment.
You'd mentioned something about putting together some of those kits again. We weren't really slammed with interest in them the last time around, but do you think it's possible that I suppose if we advertise it, we can at least see if people are interested in
Yeah.
getting some of those kits?
Yeah, absolutely. I did do a Facebook update about it about a month ago. I was thinking of reposting it again this week and just see if there's any interest. And then, that can also be something that goes on the flyer.
Yeah. Can't hurt to keep advertising it because people don't seem to be knocking the doors down or at least they weren't the last time. In fact, a couple of people we offered it to said, we really don't need that. You should give it to somebody who needs it.
Yeah,
It's
Right, exactly.
I'd like to put that link in the Powder House News as well.
Yep, so perfect. We can do that. And then just a heads up to you guys, all the Powder House Newses are going up online. As soon as
good.
as soon as
Excellent.
we get a copy of them, as long as they're scanned in, I can put them up online.
I can make you
So if
PDFs of
there's
them.
anybody, perfect. Yep. So that's my thought too, is as soon as we get the PDFs, there's just some back issues that we have to put in there, but my thought is at least going forward, if every issue that we have going forward, we just can link it right up on here. And if anybody wants to be involved but doesn't want a physical copy, then that's okay.
Yeah, somebody actually wrote to us, I think, and said, save the town mailing costs and so forth, and would like to get ours online. So that's great.
That may be something we can, that may be something we can look at in the future, is just see, do all the households who get it currently want a physical copy or do they want a link instead? And we can accommodate both.
So maybe the next issue, Laurie, will get in a little piece addressing that very thing. Say
All
if
right.
you'd prefer to save a few trees and some mailing costs, and you'd like to get this online, opt for it here. Or call the COA office. I guess that would be the most obvious way to go about it.
Or even email, yeah. But if there's anything else that you guys want on our website, just let us know. I believe the training's been recorded, and I can ask Margaret, just if you guys wanted to learn how to do any updates to the website as well, I can make sure you guys see the link. The video, it's about a 2-hour training. So, but I figured at least it's a step in the right direction.
Good. Information session number 9.
All right, so at this point, we are looking at doing some work with, I have a meeting on Friday with Lasagna Lovers, just to get just some basics about what it is that they're doing, like how does the town become involved in it? And I'm gonna ask to see if maybe we can do like a public Zoom with everybody, just so then if people are interested, you know, they can learn some more themselves. I just want to kind of figure out like how do they basically organize it within a town? Like, is there like one spokesperson, or is there one like coordinator that kind of coordinates, you know, cooker versus recipient? I just kind of want to find like those details out, and then I figured we can do kind of a public Zoom for people if they're interested in participating or if they're interested in receiving, and then we can get that information out. I'm also got a upcoming Zoom meeting with the Mass College of Pharmacy. It's going to actually be about COVID. So what I'll do is I'll do a like recordable Zoom, and we can invite the public in on that one, because I think that there's a lot of questions, especially, you know, as we continue on with winter about COVID. So I think that that'll be a really good meeting.
As in when and where?
Mass College of Pharmacies,
I was gonna
yeah,
say there are a lot of people,
and they're
when and where.
exactly. So the Mass College of Pharmacy is also doing other trainings as well, like regarding pharmacy, like medication questions, things like that as well. So my thought was really just kind of, you know, whatever trainings they're willing to offer, I think we should kind of jump on just to get the information out there. It's stuff that I don't think we've covered in the past.
That's great.
So, and the Mass Council on Aging's got a meeting coming up on Thursday to talk about COVID-19 vaccinations. So what I can do is when I know more after that, I'll let you guys know.
And is this something we'd put up on our website?
I don't know how in depth they're going to go. I'm not sure if they're talking about like specific towns, or if they're just talking about like generally what they would advise towns to do in terms of getting vaccinations. I know Margaret's also working with the Board of Health regarding this as well. So unfortunately right now there's just a lot of questions and not a lot of answers.
There
But my
sure are.
thought is as soon as we have like definite concretes, like we can just post it everywhere just to make sure people have that access.
Yeah, they seem to,
No.
go ahead.
Oh, well, just yesterday, Secretary Sutters of the Department of Public Health, or Office of Health and Human Services, did a stakeholders meeting. And just yesterday, they changed the phase 2 distribution to prioritize seniors 75 and older. So, but prior to that, phase 2, I wish I could share maybe I could share my screen with you because you could see it. Let me just check here.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, I just have to pull it up from the Google Drive from last night's meeting. I briefed the board last night on this too, so let me just quickly pull it up. All right. There it is. Okay, all right, I'll share my screen. Let's see if I can find it here. There it is. Okay. So this is essentially the chart. Phase 1 is currently underway. So you see all the prioritized groups in phase 1. And you see that they note in order of priority in phase 1. So in each of the phases, they've prioritized certain groups. So phase 2 begins on February 1st. And it will start with individuals 75 and older. So they will have first priority under phase 2, which begins on February 1st. It would then roll out, and they're going to announce openings as they go. This is very complicated. It really is. They will then make individuals 65 and older, individuals with 2 or more comorbidities, and then on and on, teachers, school workers, sanitation workers, and et cetera, in phase 2. However, what they noted yesterday, and this is important, is that many, many people who are eligible in the phase 1 group still have not gotten their vaccines. So as we move to next week, February 1st, there is still going to be phase 1 people who are going to be prioritized over everyone in phase 2. So They are trying to ramp up the rollout. They're trying to get things in order. We still have a problem with the actual vaccine distribution. In my opinion, I think too few mass vaccination sites have been set up. The state is only going to set up 7 mass vaccination sites across the Commonwealth, none of which yet are located in central Mass, which is mind-boggling, but they have 5 already clearly laid out: Gillette Stadium, Fenway Park, some big arena, some center in Boston, something in Springfield. But we're still waiting on 2 more mass vaccination locations. So that said, there are all the large pharmacy chains and small pharmacies are going to supposedly have the vaccination. So this is all coming from the state. We're doing what we can, and I know the Board of Health is doing what they can to try to stay on the newest information coming out of the state, which is happening every single day. And we'll be sure to try to keep you posted through Victoria so that we can get the word out to Berlin seniors. Any questions on this particular planned rollout?
No, I've heard people beefing about that. Well, even on talk radio, people beefing about the fact that the state has something like 800,000 doses, and less than half of them have actually been put into the arms of people. And in addition to that, that some of the people who haven't had it, who are in the first group, who are eligible, are in fact health professionals who are refusing to take it, which seems mind-blowing to me, especially people who are dealing with other people who may have it or need the shots. That I don't get at all.
Yeah.
And if they're still in the queue and they're refusing to take it, then they should get another job for one thing, but also be off to the side and let people come in and get those shots. Not that we have any control over it, but the rollout has not been great. And I guess the federal government may be exerting more pressure now on suppliers to provide more of the doses.
When you start with a big, huge mess, you have to clean up that mess first before you can get on track. And unfortunately, that's what's happened here. And so at least we have federal guidance now. At least there's a little bit more federal guidance, which is it's a good thing.
Yeah, and some people on the federal level now actually believe that it is a problem, which is helpful.
I get a letter every week from the VA saying that they're going to be distributing them, the shots. So they haven't said when they're going to start, you know?
And that would be where at the
That'll be in Worcester on Plantation Street.
yeah. Huh. It is pretty scrambled at the moment, but as Margaret notes, there seems to be a lot of interest in getting it organized and made more efficient and getting the doses out there for people.
I would really love to see, maybe not now, but I would love to see some sort of plan for drive-through drive-through vaccination clinics. So just have big, set up some big parking lots where people can drive up. Maybe this will happen when it comes to the general public getting the vaccines. But if they could do it that way, I think it's going to be easier for people to find a location. Because we're going to be able to have them set up regionally rather than arbitrarily across the state. I could go on and on. I apologize for taking your time, but we're trying to stay on it the best we can.
Yeah, useful information. We need it.
So,
All right. So yes, go ahead.
nope, just saying. So as soon as we get more, everybody will be notified.
Great. All right. Is there any issue on that Lasagna Love thing about boards of health saying, whoa, who's preparing this? And is it in this kind of kitchen or that kind of kitchen? And
So that's a good question. I think because this is basically, it's a grassroots pretty much campaign, and it's not something that the town is necessarily organizing. We're just basically bringing attention to it to
Yeah.
local residents. It's really up to them if they want to participate on it. It's not something, it's not like with our food preparation that like we're trying to pay for,
Right.
we're trying to distribute it. It's really more, again, people kind of on their own doing it. So I think that we are exempt.
That's what Sue said at school. Bad words.
Uh-oh, we just heard about the school system right there.
Sorry.
Something else we gotta take care of. All right, a bad word in school. Oh my God. Okay, Powder House News, next submission date is
The
2/14.
19th. Yeah, it's the due date's the 19th, so cut off till Lori's gotta be Valentine's. Before
Okay.
then.
Yeah. And we've, you noted somewhere there, we're talking, well, we just did that, I don't even know where it is now.
Yeah,
The
the
five-
5 Ws.
5W.
I didn't know, I'm gonna do a write-up for fuel assistance for the Powder House, but I didn't know if there was anything else that, in terms of like interviews or anything like that, that you guys would like to do, just again, to get more content out there for council. It's, you know, don't need an answer right this minute, but just if you think of something, just let me know.
Yeah, we need to come up with a couple of, meet so-and-so and so-and-so for the next edition. So your input on that would be very helpful. We had some sketchy dude introduced in the last one, so there must be some other people around town more worthy of introduction. And we should be cooking that up so that we can get that stuff to Laurie in time. We need 2 names.
Yeah. I'm not sure who you guys have done in the past. I mean, if you wanted to, we could even do like, I could ask the chiefs, Chief Galvin, Chief Clark, you know, just kind of public figures around town. Totally up to you guys.
Yeah, and then there's that Margaret something or other. I don't know. She could probably even be in there. Margaret, have you been in as an introduced person in the Powder House News?
Oh, you're on mute, Margaret.
Ah, okay. So anyway, that's something we need to think about. I had also thought about the possibility of a column. Oh, we do have in 5Ws, we do have part 2 of the story
Oh,
about
that's
the
right.
Ross Dam coming. And I actually have to forward that to Laurie. I've seen Dave Westerling's piece and I asked him if he sent it and he said he hadn't. Would I forward it to Laurie? So I will do that.
Perfect.
Just completes that story, which I thought actually got some mail from somebody saying they really enjoy that article and are looking forward to more of the 5Ws. So I think that's
Yeah,
maybe a keeper.
I agree. And like I said, if there's any other, you know, broad stories or any other like broad like history stuff like that that we want to include in, just like I said, let me know if there's any like recordings or meetings that we want to do. Otherwise, we can just stick with it in the paper.
Okay, I had wondered about the possibility of starting a column or a section called, well, I was gonna call it As I Remember or As I Recall, and my wife thought a more clever title would be Senior Moments. Only instead of being a diss on seniors about let me think, they're actually recalling some very interesting facts about things in town or in their own experiences, life's lessons learned. The only problem is
Yeah.
there's a potential to really have a lot of people do that. I hope that would be the case. And so then that made me think it might be worth exploring to try to put together a book of all that kind of recollection. And it would be unique to Berlin, but I mean, all the time I hear about people who have absolutely amazing experiences in their lives you'd have no idea they'd had. And if you encourage them to get those out there, then you'd start looking at people differently. You know, it's like when I was a kid, I used to see Veterans Day parades go by. And even as a kid, I was thinking, boy, I bet if you could stop the parade and just pick 1 or 2 or 3 people out have them come over and talk to you, you'd hear some really amazing stories. So I think this is there's some potential to do this and give some respect to people who have had these experiences. And you might know a whole lot more than you did before you started reading. So anyway, that's just percolating. You said you're going to do a write-up, Victoria, for fuel assistance.
Yes.
Did we not have wasn't there something in the last edition, or am I thinking of somebody else's publication?
We didn't have anything on fuel assistance. I think one of the other towns covered it. But I figured now, especially with it being winter, we can do a write-up.
Yeah, okay. I have some spare hardwood lying around my property here, if anybody wants some for their fireplace, by the way.
Guess what, Mimi?
Do we have any
Mimi,
other
guess what?
business to attend to in this meeting? Does anybody have anything that
Just
hasn't
some,
been?
Toilet on the tower.
just some administrative updates.
Yep.
The annual report for the Council on Aging's been submitted to Lori.
Good.
It's gonna get all nice and fluffed. So it's good. And just to let you guys know as well, I did email you guys the wellness check procedures. Just let me know if you all are okay with it, and then we can have it be formally accepted.
Great. I didn't know Laurie did
All right.
fluff pieces.
I don't.
That's good. Your reputation would be tarnished, Laurie. All right. No other new business? I would entertain a motion to adjourn. The next meeting would be February 23rd, same time, same station. And do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
All right, we'll take a vote on it. Laurie Fairbay,
Agree. Adjourn.
Wes Durant,
So moved.
Rachel Boyer,
Agreed.
Pat Wheeler,
Agree.
Bob Blair, agreed. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.